Oh no, you've ruined my mood, actually. Just the thought of seeing you dab again, that was too much for me to bear that one time. I don't want to see it again.
Sorry, I disrupted your train of thought. What were you saying?
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Doesn't
Who do
matter.
you think is going to win? I'll ask you that.
I think it's a pretty favorable board draft.
So do I.
I'm a very big believer in team
Mirage
board.
needs to pop off. I think he can, with the Coddle backing him up. And I feel like the Lifestealer should have a fine time in lane. But in terms of like late game, what ends up happening in terms of like Troll versus Lifestealer should be fine for the Troll. Ember Spirit against these supports isn't that amazing, and you've got a decent amount of burst as well. The thing again that it's just going to come down to for me is will Bald be able to execute? Because I feel like there were a number of times where it was pretty clear that they just haven't been scrimming. You know, they were a little slow on some of their movements, and Hustlers were able to set up in response to that.
Pablo? Okay, he's chill. I was gonna say it takes a lot of damage from that glimpse into right clicks from the Shads, but we'll see. You mentioned that you feel like Mirage has to pop off, and into this lane early on, Weehar's gonna have a bit of an advantage just in regards to his right clicks, especially with the tree. But as the lane goes on, that slight spam, maybe with a Blight Zone, could give Mirage a bit of an opening. This matchup does go back and forth, so.
Ooh. Angel might actually get a kill here. Have you seen this this glimpse level up spam? So basically it costs a little more than half mana, and it does equivalent damage to the Thunderstrike, and you're just able to trade very easily, and it gives you utility as well if fights start to break out. So being picked up a lot.
Hang on, what the hell?
It's good, man.
That's pretty wild. Not a lot of abilities grow like that in regards to what you get out of every level. The damage goes up, the cooldown goes down, the mana barely goes up. Your efficiency 70 mana for how much damage it does? Interesting. Yep. I have seen it, but I haven't kind of looked too far into how the stats look. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to look at Angel's build as well. Like, he's got so many stats right now because he wants to trade. He wants to force people to run away, and then he's just going to glimpse it, right? And get all of that juicy damage for 70 mana. Pretty nice.
Well, bottom lane, Gork in a bit of trouble. This is not what you're hoping out of this bottom lane, and Dalai Lama is well aware of that. You are picking this Troll Warlord to absolutely obliterate the Broodmother's lane, and the fact that D2 Hustlers are able to find first blood is not a good sign at all.
Also gives him time to start farming a little bit for himself, you know, going a little bit more of the greedy route, as Coddles are prone to do. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if he started to build up a couple of stacks for himself as well, just to quickly start to accelerate that farm. He's going to move away from Bengen just to make sure he doesn't go down. Of course, Snapfire does plenty of damage in the lane, but he's actually a little short on mana, just enough for one spell right now. So he's going to need to ferry himself out a little bit of that. Some mangoes, perhaps, just for some passive regen in lane. And how's mid going?
We already see that spam from Mirage. He's got that Blight Zone, Orb of Corrosion queued up. So Weehar is taking a bit of a beating, as Mirana's going to get soloed by Angel, so...
Glimpse, man!
Very nicely done. Just an easy spam and some solo experience, which is the really important thing as well for the Disruptor. This hero loves to be working with experience.
I mean, that's the downside of not getting Leap, right? You're just so much more vulnerable to all of this happening, as, oh, is he going to lose his career as well? No, not... Okay, he dropped it.
Oh. Arrow's going to be off the mark, unfortunately, so Zip Zapper will take a bunch of damage as well after his glimpse back to Shad's right click.
Look at how confident they are about their lanes. They realize that that was probably a little bit of a lucky break to be able to get that kill onto the Troll Warlord, and they're just saying, look, we got that out of the lane, let's just try and get some levels into Divine Llama at this stage. Alex going all the way back, building up a bunch of different stacks for not just himself, but the rest of his team. Doing a great job. Yeah, you mentioned the Blightstone as well, of course, against the Tiny. 0 armor at the very beginning of the game, so he's just going to be looking to spam that out as much as possible. Of course, he doesn't really have anyone to play around with just yet, So it hasn't put a point into the Searing Chains quite at this stage, because you're just not going to get value out of it. Some harassment coming out now as well. Got pushed a little bit further forward into the lane, and he's going to be copping a lot of these Illuminates from the Coddle. And the lane starting to be pulled through as well. It's one of the advantages of playing so aggressively forward.
Oh, nice cookie. Look, should be able to have the damage coming through. The Divine Llama playing with plenty of one charges to keep himself healthy. And see if they actually want to get aggressive themselves now. They've got the Chakra to work with, but Sync and Bowl are on cooldown, so you won't be able to get too much damage out. Just kind of the back and forth that we're seeing so far out of the lanes. No crazy winners just yet. I think this bottom lane will get a little bit more difficult once the Brood's able to hit level 6, but I think more importantly, it's where those mid laners look to rotate. Probably looking at that 6-minute timing for the Power Rune, and in particular Mirage having his remnants to work with as Bork in a little bit of trouble. Illuminate will be able to sidestep it, but it means that Divine Llama can continue to get the right clicks going. They want to dive onto the tower.
Is actually kind of doing them a disservice, right? Just allowing Divine Llama to perhaps go for a little bit deeper of a dive. It's like, well, they get a kill up on the top side.
Revenge.
Yep. That's what the leap enables you to do, just a little bit further chase. Will Mirage get lucky with the Power Runes once again, as Tiny's actually been forced all the way back to base, and he's going to get back to the lane, but still not up to that level 6, and you've still got this siege creep there, so someone is forced to come back.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I wonder if I was considering, like, does Angel TP mid just to try and catch out the Tiny TP and glimpse it back to base, but it's not wanting to commit the TP scroll just yet. Eventually comes mid.
They're going to try and get a kill off the back of this. Mirage has got level 6 to work with. Pablo's actually going to leap into the river to try and put some extra damage into the Ember, but be able to follow up. So both supports come. They will be able to stop kind of that catapult timing, so not too much damage into the tower, but really importantly, this frees up WEU to be able to rotate, but we already see that die. They're ready for this. They got a ward on the cliff just in case he was going to make his way down bottom, so WEU will think twice.
Nah, you can't rotate at level almost 6. I think it needs to be at least level 8 or so that you're looking to make any kind of movement like that. His main thing should be just getting into those phase boots, picking up a magic wand, and starting to work towards your next accelerated item, whatever that may be.
He's getting bodied mid though on WEU.
A couple of arrows now that have been off the mark as well from Pablo. Up one on the top side after the hoof stomp landed, and I mean, Mirana plus Tiny should be a guaranteed land of the arrow as well. Just Avatos combo. So I really want to see Pablo, even Bengen, just starting to make a movement towards Tiny's lane. Don't make him have to move. It's very important that WEU starts to build up his net worth and doesn't spend too much time just roaming around the map, because you never know where the wards are going to be. And, well, for Hustlers, they're in the prime position to be able to stop any kind of movement.
Would you like to see D2 Hustlers look to play around with the Broodmother shortly, that she's going to have to spawn Spiderlings?
It's a possibility, but like, what kills are you actually going to be able to convert onto is my big thing. They might be able to get a kill here onto Pablo. There's the Chakra Magic coming into... Okay, ends up dodging up. Guessed down, did Mirage, so he's going to be able to get away, get some nice vision up as well. You can see that there's a stack being built up here. I wonder if Pablo's going to scout out the hard camp as well. Maybe not wanting to get too close to the cliff ward just in case he gets picked off. Just waiting for his TP scroll to come off cooldown, I think.
I said, no way he actually goes to check that. Checking all the other tree line, but didn't go down to the one towards the secret shop, so Pablo will be able to escape. Power Rune doesn't go over to the mid laners, so no potential for them to make some rotations. I do want to quickly bring our attention just to top to recap on how this has gone. I mean, Zip Zapper, Vanguard, he's going to be uncontested, but the same can be said about the Lifesteal as well. These two cores going to continue farming. I don't think we're going to see any rotations. They're going to be mid and bottom that the aggression will be. It's a bit too close for comfort.
Ends up getting away though. I mean, he's had to buy the raindrops because of all the harassment that's coming out for him. I really want to see Centaur essentially follow around the Broodmother. Maybe once he gets this Blink Dagger, just to try and get the kill, to prevent too much of the map being taken away by Divine Llama. Because you've got the Vanguard, right? You're not dying to these Spiderlings. You're going to do a great job at just preventing that. And it's gotten to the stage where Lifesteal is big enough that he's really not going to care at all, even against a beefy Centaur. You can just bully him out of the lane, essentially.
Do you see WEU's might be in a little bit of trouble here? The Hustlers trying to chase him down. They've got the vision for the glimpse, so an easy kill for them to find. Even using the Stampede, though. Weeha's not dead just yet. The turnaround might be there, but the damage isn't enough to bring down Mirage, and now he'll run then over to Bengim.
Oh, Mirage.
The two Hustlers find a second, and Pablo.
Styling.
Well, he tries to secure the kill with the Starstorm, but he too will take a spill. We saw the odds just prior at esportsbet.io, and it's not going to look any better after that team fight.
No, definitely not. I mean, this man, we love a pub star, don't we? And he is really just putting on a clinic right now, dodging out these Starstorms, making sure to survive on barely any HP. Wouldn't be surprised if he tried to make a movement up towards this top side of the map just to get rid of the threat of the Centaur.
Really need to free up a lane here for Gorg. If they can find this tower, it's going to make it a little bit easier for him to get some extra farm, but the two Hustlers, they're ready to contest this. Boys are coming. Angel nearby. Weeha will pogo over. They get the toss back into the hoof stomp. They're going to try and target down Alex.
We're under the tower,
my man. They don't have the damage. They don't even have the damage to get the Keeper of the Light, as two will be killed off. And now Mirage. I'm not going to go for more, but this is... It's 5,000 net worth lead. Hang on, what? Oh no, this is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected the top lane to go this way. Wasn't really expecting bottom. Of course, with a Troll Warlord being such a strong laner, to be down that route. And I mean, Tiny has a right-click advantage against the Ember, even though you yourself are going to get harassed. But to me, the biggest thing that Team Bold have been lacking is what I was talking about before, right? The arrow combination together with the Avatos combo. We just haven't seen that quite yet. And even with the Tumbler's Toy, I mean, that enables this combo so much more heavily, and we just haven't seen it.
Kind of hoping the Tiny to snowball to make the space here for Gorg to get that farm. And this is a Battle Fury Troll. Like, you need time to be able to come online, and where are you going to be able to get that farm? Where's the Tiny going to be able to catch up? Where's the Troll going to catch up? Centaur's a greedy position 3 as well. Like, you need to occupy a lane. It's not going to be easy because the Broodmother can just control their jungle, but maybe the combo up from Weeha will be able to at least get them some gold. At least they're able to find the Static Storm off before they bring down the Disruptor, so the turnaround will be there. As D2 Hustlers won't find the second kill into Bengen.
He was making the backswing with his sword there, just about to kill him off. And actually, they're not swords. What do you call those things? Little scythes?
What, from the Ember?
Sickles? Yeah.
Rapiers? Oh, actually, no, they're not rapiers. Sorry, I thought he was using a different one. Yeah, sickles of... We can go with that. Does it say in the... I was going to say, it doesn't say in the item.
Nope. Cheater. Imagine wanting to use what's in the game.
See, Timbo, look to smoke up. They do have Zip Zapper's Blink, so Pablo now has a second person to play with. They're going to be targeting down Divine Llama on the Broodmother. Not an easy person for them to find. They're going to be on point with this jump, but with Divine Llama showing the lane, this might give them that opening. An easy way to follow up the Mortimer Kisses damage, and Divine Llama will go down. A big streak for them to find. I think they got the Spiderlings as well, and now this can give Zip Zapper a little bit of time to farm this bottom wave. So nice injection of the gold into the bank of Team Bold.
Yep, I want to see a whole lot more of that happen. You don't need to pop the Mortimer's Kisses for it. It's all about just getting levels into your supports off of the back of these pick-off kills. I mean, very important for them, for Weeha to be able to get up into the Blink Dagger of his own. 700 gold away. But again, you got the Tumbler's Toy. I really don't think you need it necessarily to be able to get a bunch of these kills. Even supports are fine. Just reduce the kill threat onto Gork so that he's able to get into that Battle Fury and accelerate his net worth.
She's getting pretty close to her. One more component being that Claymore, so his triangle is Gork's home at the moment. Mirage.
Oh, Zip Zapper. This would be big if there was someone there just to back it up. They were both minding the top power rune. So Zip Zapper at least able to get the Arcane Rune bot, take that away from the Ember Spirit. But he looked to get a kill here onto Alex. Ooh, where's the follow-up? One arrow.
It's given time for Dyer to be able to move on over. Arrow connects, but they're going to have to use the Stampede defensively. Pablo feels like he has the damage, but just able to calculate it enough. And now Weeha's going to be in some trouble as well. They've got the glimpse on Angel, so they can drag him back. As Mirage is nearby to be able to follow up. Static Storm lay it down to control up the Tiny, and now they can chain their attention over towards Zip Zapper on the Centaurs. The stuns will not be there to stop his TP, so in the end, a 2-for-1, but the blink continuing to be delayed on Weeha's Tiny.
Yeah, I think they were just expecting for the Tiny to be able to gap close there to be able to secure that kill, but they were in two minds. Again, no scrims means that this stuff isn't ingrained in your mind, and yeah, off the back of that, you need to wait for the Blink Dagger on the Tiny before you do anything, right? The comms just isn't there. Just make it easy. Simple stuff is going to go a long way towards Team Bold coming back into this game.
Is this 4 games in a row where we've seen Shad just be completely uncontested on his carry?
Yes, but to be fair, he's had kind of 3 games each time in terms of the matchup, right?
Or maybe not now. Oh, great reaction, Shad. That Clifford, I believe, was able to help out with the smoke popping, so Shad, you're okay for the moment. They're going to look to try and trade towers, which I'd say it's pretty huge for D2 Hustlers. You get this T1 mid now, and this can make it a whole lot easier for you to be able to invade into the triangle.
Yeah, Gorks at least taking the tier 1 tower top should give him the money to be able to finish up that Battle Fury. But again, like you were saying, no tier 1 tower means that all those smokes can now make their way through the mid lane in that couple of extra seconds, and means that maybe you get caught with your pants down farming.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing we brought up earlier, is that your cores need a lot of farm to catch up. We do at least have the blink down Weeha, so he's been able to find his farm, but with the tower now gone and this bottom jungle completely in control of the Broodmother, the net worth is just steadily growing for D2 Hustlers, up to 7,000 gold. And now with the Desolator completed on Shad, one successful team fight, and D2 Hustlers can look to reap the rewards of taking Roshan.
Yeah. Zipzapper trying to make it not too obvious with how quickly he pushes out that lane. If he just nukes the wave, they're saying, alright, they're grouping up, they wanted to go for a smoke. They end up doing it.
We're going to try Mirage.
Yeah, that'd be big.
They are at the ready. They get the jump in. Static Storm to counter initiate, and now all of a sudden, not looking good for Team Bold at all as they group up in the meat grinder. A glimpse away from Angel doesn't bring the Mirana any closer, but look at Mirage going forward. The Infest Bomb, he'll make it up to the higher ground, but it will not matter. Mirage can easily clean up the Snapfire, and that was your timing. You've gotten all this farm on Weeha just to hope for the blink to turn it around, and your first usage of it, you get no kills, and in fact you lose 3 members.
It's one of those times where I like the movement, and of course it's very tempting to stop Mirage from having such a dominant game like he is. But they made that dive where they went onto the other side of a creep wave, so there was no possibility for an arrow to land onto this, right? Like, where is the angle for an arrow to happen? Great reaction time by Angel, just to be able to stop a lot of those combinations from happening, of course, as well. But, yeah, I mean, Pablo a little late with the mech means that they end up dying pretty damn quickly. And again, yeah, no arrow. Not connecting. Mortimer's kisses.
Might be in some trouble. Gonna get out of range of the kinetic field. You just mentioned Angel and his reactions, and I mean, a lot of that comes off to his positioning. I feel like it's just another game where we've seen the supports have a lot of impact. Is again onto Zipzapper, but what can you do? Stampede out of kinetic field's not gonna work. As they'll play their distance, Mirage does eat an arrow. This could be the opening now for them to potentially get a kill, as Weeha finds the toss to glimpse. Unfortunately, not enough, but they're still gonna look to invade inside Radiant's jungle. As Divine Llama even feels the importance of showing up to the team fight. I think they'll have the ways to be able to catch up to Pablo, but in the end it will be a 2-for-1.
He's going to do his best to maybe shove out this top lane, unless that's where I feel like they need to be farming right now. I mean, I suppose it's pretty important to push him on forward, but there we go. As soon as you get that Thunder Strike on you, leaping away is not going to do all that much. Very easy pick up for Shad, moving himself up to 3-0 and 4. He's actually got a really early Aghanim Shard as well with the open wounds, so quite effective against this, 3 strength core lineup and a Troll Warlord who has a decent strength gain in his own right.
Item build that we saw kind of innovated by Mantu at TI, going that very, very early Aghanim Shard. you said, a great way for him to be able to help out in this game against the heroes from Team Board. Another early thing we see from them is a gem Denok. This second game in a row where the gem has been picked up at such an early stage.
Yeah, I think it's just very disciplined, right? Don't give them an opportunity to come back into this game. It shows to be
Angel?
a lot of respect for their opponents.
They're going to be able to jump in on WeHard to blow up the Disruptor, but again, they have to heavily commit to just bring one member down, and now this might be an opening for D2 Hustlers. All their heroes are starting to funnel into bottom. They're going to try and chase Pablo. Not be able to secure the kill under the cover of the Moonlight Shadow. Team Board will escape, and this is also giving Gorks some nice space to himself. He's going to be able to shove out mid, force out a glyph, also take away the power and for the Ember to play with. So a pretty nice sequence of events for Radiant.
And D2 Hustlers are showing how much value they put into playing around their team. They could have very easily taken that bottom tower with the heroes being pushed back, no mana, but without the Disruptor, they feel like Angel is such a key component to a lot of their team fights and their initiations here. So wouldn't surprise me to see them group up a little bit after this Ancient stack is taken, but certainly lots of avenues to be able to open up the map even further by taking that tier 2 tower bot.
By Llama, they're going to get the jump. The Cliff Ward being able to scout out the Broodmother. I think the Spiderling actually tanked the arrow, so the stun lock is not going to be there for them to bring him down. Pipe activated, so the Broodmother is A-OK. Should be able to instantly retreat away from the aggression of Team Board. In fact, Mirage wants to re-enter the fight. Avalanche will hold him back for the moment, but a Chain's making sure there's no escape. They actually cookie Weeha further into the middle. Because in the end, Tiny, he's going to be the only one that goes down. Angel's got a glimpse to drag another, though. Kinetic Field stopping Pablo from being able to leap away. Beautiful micro from Divine Llama, putting the Spiderling in front of himself so the arrow wasn't able to connect. That gave him the opportunity to pop the pipe, and the rest of the boys were instantly there.
Just those little things that set teams apart, right? Like, could have very easily been a quick conversion onto a high-value kill. Allow them to get back out onto the map and a little bit of control, allow Gork to make the most out of that Battle Fury, but instead, it's actually a turnaround the other way. They lose all their vision because they don't lose the gem. They take the tier 2 tower, and the net worth league grows from 7k to 12.
I think that teamfight is a perfect example of the lack of damage that's going to be there once this pipe is activated on Divine Llama. If you're unable to blow him up or blow anyone up before this pipe, then all of a sudden there's just nothing they can do before Gork finds his items, but he's just so far behind. He's going BKB next item, but even then, it's not really going to be able to help out with his damage inside the fight. Maybe he can bring one person down, but need him to be that raid boss for the later stages, and with the net worth lead that D2 Hustlers have, and I don't know if Team Board are going to be able to get there.
Getting a little bit lucky with the neutral items as well, picking up a Nether Shawl for Mirage. So again, when you consider these gank squads, he's got a BKB for himself, so as long as he's not dying to that initial burst, he's satisfied, right? So that 20% magic resistance might be the difference. Speaking of,
smoke up.
3-man smoke.
Pablo's going to reveal himself in the mid lane. Definitely not the target they want. So they'll take it nonetheless. An easy kill for them to find. Okay, Verve Mirage already looking for more as well. Bottom lane Shab was able to force Weeha to TP out, so this means that Tiny is not available to play with for a little bit of time.
It's an expensive outpost, though. You know, the map's closing in on you. Shad's farming bot. You've got Mirage and Divine Llama farming top. You're getting kills mid. It just feels like a carbon copy of the last game. Where are you farming? And now they've used a smoke with creeps hitting the tower. So any kind of movement's going to be super obvious. Just putting their beefiest hero on the front lines.
They can't blow him up. It's not going to happen. They'll try. They'll expend everything to try and get rid of the Broodmother, but a 4-staff to reposition, and Divine Llama is out. And now Team Board, what do? You expended too much to make the attempt onto the Broodmother, and you're going to be penalized for that. A Zip Zapper goes down under the secret shot. Mirage is already looking for more. Duck into the tree line is Pablo. There's just nothing they can do. That smoke, like you said, D2 Hustlers were ready for it.
More map control just removed. Observer ward's gone. It's another cold, dark Swedish winter, unfortunately, and yeah, really the only vision they've got is from these creeps that are about to die in the mid lane for Team Bald. They have a couple of tier 2s to play around, but you've got a Desolator, Lifestealer hitting into the Roche pit, so this should just be even more resources going D2 Hustler's way. You saw they nearly killed the Broodmother though, right? So like, they've had avenues to be able to come into this one. I feel like it's just gotten to that stage where Divile Armor's just so insanely farmed that, you know, maybe if you made that Blink Avatos combo into the arrow, into the kisses slightly prior, I know they did it once, but you got to keep it up. Divile Armor just TP'd straight back bottom and had not a care in the world.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Broodmother is, yeah, you can kill her once, but if you don't constantly bring her down, then her farm is just going to rapidly grow with how much you occupy the enemy's jungle. And not even her farm, but, I mean, look at Alex, man. This Coddle is ahead of the offlaner and the position 2 on Team Bald. He's barely behind Gork, and he's going for a goddamn Hex.
You love to see it?
You love to see it. The supports... you can play like this when you've had such a strong performance, and they're going to be rewarded. Let's see, Weehaw trying to farm up inside the lane, even using a Stampede to maybe hope he can somehow get out. The TP will be cut short. Gets pretty close to it, but yeah, Mirage will be able to find it. Let's see if they make the go up top. Gorg. Swims in the kinetic field. It's going to be forced with the BKB. It's a pretty decent Mortimer Kisses as they bring down the Disruptor, but that is all they'll get out of it. BKB, Kisses used, and still D2 Hustlers can occupy the map.
Really wanted to force that battle trance out of Gork. They got the BKB. Actually, might be forced to use the battle trance now. Shad's diving Gork for Team 4s.
Yeah, there we go. Battle trance is out. Instant use of the Infest, so he's going to be protecting the Gork. He's not going to get enough life steal back. They'll pop out.
Oh,
and
no.
Blow up the troll.
Not the tip.
Only one? Only one tip as Bengen's in trouble as well. They don't have the detection though. After Bengen pops out, they're not going to move forward. An incredible hoof stomp, but the follow-up is just not going to be there. Weehaw waiting in the wings, but doesn't see the opening. Try and blow up the life steal. Of course, he still has this Aegis advantage.
Surprised they didn't go for that, to be honest. I feel like there was an avenue to potentially get rid of this Aegis that still got a good 3 minutes on it. Might have dissuaded them from going in onto the high ground, but you know, this isn't anywhere near as much of the game as we saw last time, right? Like the Drow Ranger plus Keeper of the Light high ground, much more concerning than what they've got on Team Bald right now. Could very well look to end it at around the 30-minute mark if they were wanting to. Might just be waiting for that Skull Basher to come out for Shad. And the Hex, of course, on Alex.
Did they lose the gem? What's going on? They did lose the gem. Okay. Little silver lining, I suppose.
Alright, what's the win probability? Have a guess.
Probably like 100.
5%? You keep underestimating Team Bald, man.
It's
a little bit of bias seeping through.
What do you mean? I thought they were going to win. I gave them... I liked their draft. I gave them the edge, and...
You know, I know you're a bit of a crit streamer fan, but there are other people from Scandinavia out there.
What? I like Gork stream. What are we trying to do? Throw me under the bus here? Zip Zapper? Should be okay for the moment, but easily able to find the full set of barracks. EU time zone's not easy to watch streams for me. I don't have a DGen time zone like you.
We both know that's not true. I've seen you in the chats. This is, yeah, they're making the most out of this Aegis for sure. Going out to the high ground, still 1 minute left on it. Even going into the BKB next on Shad, realizing once again that they've gone very heavily into this magic damage build, or draft rather, on Team Bald's side. Picking up that Paladin sword. Not like he needed more sustain.
What can you do? What can you do? Gork is like, alright.
Go to the other side of the map.
Farm up the triangle, but...
What's he picked up? A Basher?
I think so? Yeah, Basher picked up.
He's got to get on the Ember and hope for the best. Get that chain route, chain bash going.
Are they trying to catch him off guard with the Moonlight? Still got Aegis for 30 seconds. Is there a potential toss back into the stun under the tower? But That attempt won't even be made. Oh, not like this. Oh no. Oh, WEU doesn't get the toss as well, and now the Hex is there. I'll chase him underneath the tier 4 tower. That might be the only way to protect it, but the glimpse, well, there'll be no towers to hold them into place. Let's go. Yeah. G's a drop. Parlo, he'll be the one to call it as D2 Hustlers off to a great start in this 201.
You know, some people favored them more than others. Not going to name names, but yeah, they are looking quite strong. But